What is going on here? Not sending out notifications. What the fuck? This is ridiculous. It's not sending out my notifications. This is ridiculous, dude. So I have no choice but to just wait until people join, because they're not sending out notifications. They're not sending out my notifications this morning. I know they're not, because I have 100 people join instantly when I go live. There's no way that there's 17 people watching me. They're not getting the notifications. Fucking ridiculous, dude. No, I just find it so ridiculous that this happens. It's just stupid. No, it definitely is, but that's like you can just tell that it's not sending out the notifications. Like you can just tell. You can just tell it's not sending out the notification. Because normally it's like instantly 100 people join, and that's why it's just not sending it out. That's what it is. Guys, I'm live on YouTube right now. I'm just hopping on here to tell you I'm live on YouTube right now. If you go to the link tree in my bio, you will see a link for my YouTube channel. Come on over, blow up the YouTube. I'm over there right now. We're watching Tulsi Gabbard's Senate confirmation vote. And what else happens today? The Doge hearing. The Doge hearing. I was on Substack this morning. I'm on YouTube right now. So run on over to YouTube. It's in the link tree in my bio. For some reason, YouTube's not sending out notifications today, so that's what's happening. So I had to hop on here to tell people I'm over on YouTube, because they're just not sending out notifications, apparently. Most people didn't receive a notification as soon as I went live. So it's some fucking stupid thing with this app. It's a joke. YouTube has a serious problem with their notification system. Like a serious problem. Tulsi Gabbard has a Senate confirmation vote today, yes. Yes. So I'm over on YouTube. If you guys want to come over, it's in the link tree in my bio. That's where I am. I had no idea. No, I'm live on YouTube. I'm just on here to tell people I'm on YouTube. It just has a weird system where it doesn't send it out to everybody right away or something. I don't know. It's a very bizarre way it's set up. So, yeah, if you guys want to head over to YouTube, that's where I am right now. Nope, not coming back to TikTok. I'm over on YouTube. That's where you have to watch me now. I'm on YouTube. We do a bunch of shit over there. I don't participate in Trump talk. So, come on over to YouTube, everybody. I'll see you on YouTube. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. But anyway, it is what it is. We'll just deal with it for now. There's not much we can do, so we'll just deal with it for now. Somebody told me that this happens on here, and there's not much I can do about it. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? What frustrates me, though, is I'm going to get 6,000 messages of people saying, oh, I didn't even know you were live. Like, that's what's annoying. I'm going to get 6,000 messages later of people saying, I didn't even know you were live. Oh, I just realized my account was on private. That's why no one was joining my TikTok live. There was only 100 people in there. It's because my account was on private. Let me do this again. Yeah, listen, Tulsi Gabbard's super dangerous. Yeah, she's super fucking dangerous. She believes in conspiracy theories. She thinks she was on a secret watch list or something. She's absolutely out of her freaking mind. She's out of her mind. Guys, I am over on YouTube right now. I am live on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say I didn't get TikTok. No, I'm not talking about TikTok notifications. I'm talking about YouTube didn't send out its notification. Guys, I am over on YouTube. Right now, I am over on YouTube. If you're looking for me, I am on YouTube. For some reason, YouTube didn't send out everyone notifications today for some weird fucking reason. But if you guys want to follow me, go over to YouTube. It's in the link tree in my bio. That's where I am. If you guys want to come hang out, I am monetized on YouTube now. You can get a membership. You can super chat. You can hang out. We were live a lot last night. You know, we go live a lot over there. So check me out. That's where I am. Stay on here for a second while people ask where I am, and then we'll go from there. You can get a membership. Let me turn this on for the chat. You can hang out. We were live a lot last night. You know, we go live. Why am I listening to myself? Hold on. OBS back up here. Hold on. Hey, everybody.
And I will be surprised. I would like to be surprised. But I don't believe that there's going to be a single Democrat that votes for either of the two people who less than a year ago were members of their party. In some cases, members of their party that goes back decades. The Kennedy family, Democrat politics in America. So you have two nominees who were Democrats a year ago, but because they articulate views now,
she was never a Democrat.
Dissent
she was never
from the
a
ideology
Democrat
of the Democrat Party.
Dude, this is so hilarious. She was never a Democrat.
Can get even one Democrat to vote for him here on the floor.
She was never a Democrat.
I'm hoping to be surprised. That vote's going to happen in about 30 minutes on Tulsi Gabbard to be Director of National Intelligence.
Of course they're going to vote her in, but she was never a Democrat.
We'll have a cloture vote on Robert F. Kennedy to be Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services. In each of those cases, you got Democrats.
Guys, we're over on YouTube.
In good standing.
If you're looking for me.
As recently as a year ago.
In the link tree in my bio, we are over on YouTube.
Come now. They're nominees.
I don't stream on TikTok
Trump
anymore. I stream on YouTube only.
Within his administration.
And Substack, but YouTube and Substack. I don't stream on TikTok.
A single Democrat.
Rebecca, thank you for the $5 super chat,
but
Rebecca.
We will confirm them, and we'll get these people into these positions as soon as possible. And in answer, I think, the mandate that was given by the American people in November, and that is they want a different track in this country,
I'm drawing people over to YouTube, Maddie. I'm telling people I'm on
set of priorities
YouTube, so they go over to YouTube.
Being articulated here on the United States Senate.
But
Mr. President, we also had just recently a vote on Lake and Riley, and that was probably the most glaring example.
Trying to get people from my platform to go over to my other
willingness
platforms.
To filibuster, something they wanted to get rid of 2 years ago. They want to get rid of the legislative filibuster.
What's up, Uncle Duff?
We get the majority. First time we put a bill on the floor, what do? They filibuster.
Amanda, thank you for the $5 super chat, Amanda.
And so here we are, slowing down
TikTok.
these noms,
Good for you.
full 30 hours. on Tulsi
TikTok's
Gabbard.
about to
I
get
assume they'll
banned.
the
What are you
same
going to
thing
do
on
then?
RFK. But these are people that are
What are you
going
gonna
to
do
be confirmed and going to begin working in this administration to implement the agenda that the President of the United States has articulated and the one that he carried to the voters in this last election.
Somebody in the TikTok
an
chat
election
said they
in which
love
the voters
TikTok.
gave him a decisive majority at the polls.
Yeah, because I'm
So,
on
Mr.
YouTube,
President,
CDL.
I
You got to
hope
go over to
again that I'm
YouTube.
wrong. I
That's
hope
where
that
I
we have
am,
a bipartisan
CDL.
vote
All right, guys, I'm
today
going over to YouTube.
on either or both of these nominees.
If you guys want to come over to YouTube,
But
you
I
can
will
come
tell
over.
you that based on my assessment of where
Trump got
the
a
party
shout
is,
out now. He doesn't care.
the
Big
Democrat
facts,
Party in this
Angie.
country, it would
Big
come as a very
facts,
surprise to me
Angie.
if that's the case.
Angie
Mr. President,
coming
I
through
yield
with the
floor.
fucking truth. Yeah, well, I'm over on YouTube. All right? You know what YouTube is? You know TikTok's not the only platform, right? It's not. It's not the only platform. There's other platforms. Angie coming through with the heavy-ass fucking truth. All right, some guy with no shirt on is trying to invite me here. Get out of here. So, guys, that's where I am. I'm over on YouTube, if you're wondering. Neptune is coming? Yeah, I don't know. That's what I heard, too, but we'll see. But I'm over on YouTube, everybody.
Mr. President.
210, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, 210.
Mr. President,
Right,
let me
thank you for the
begin
$5
with a
super
quote
chat. News just woke up
from
January 6
President
videos
Trump
gone. AP
during
press
his
ban, Black History
campaign
and Pride Month,
for
and
the
all the members
presidency.
removed from Google. Yep.
He said,
It's all
"When I
crumbling
win,
down, ladies and gentlemen.
I will immediately
It is
bring
all
prices down
crumbling
starting
down.
on day one."
Listen,
Well, today is day
everything that I said was going to happen over here happened. Everything I said was going to happen leading up to the election happened. These Muppets didn't want to believe it. They didn't want to accept it. You know, so it is what it is. I'm not arguing with the same 5 troglodytes over and over again on TikTok, okay? So if you guys want to come over, I'm on YouTube. It's in the link tree in my bio. All right? Love you. If you don't want to come over, that's fine. Love you while you were with me. Appreciate you. But I'm over on YouTube. All right? Take care, everybody. TikTok's probably got, I don't know, 50-something days left. So see you later. Yo, I swear to God, the most annoying thing about doing that is the amount of people that are like, I'm in love with TikTok. I'm not leaving TikTok. What are you going to do when it gets banned, Muppet? What are you going to do when it gets banned? Are you going to just, you know, what are you going to do then? Because every creator that I know is already starting to move their content elsewhere because they know what's coming. You know? They see it. So we got Chuck Schumer up here. I can focus now. This is the Tulsi Gabbard Senate vote. The other thing is MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, is hosting the Doge
one issue in the campaign
hearing
to most people. And Donald Trump said, starting on day one, prices are going to start coming down. Well, they're up 3%. It's day 20. Welcome again to the age of Trumpflation. Donald Trump knows that he doesn't have real solutions.
Jen said the audio is horrible. No, it's not, Jen. What do you mean the audio is horrible? Guys, is the audio bad today? The audio should not be bad. Let's check real quick if the audio is horrible, what Jen said. Let's see. So the audio is horrible. Audio's fine. Yeah, I figured. I figured.
Solutions to bringing costs down despite his campaign promises. So what is he doing? He's distracting and diverting the American people, or trying to, with issues that have nothing to do with bringing prices down. He's distracting and diverting with issues like changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico, talking about changing the chairman of the board of the Kennedy Center, talking about building hotels in Gaza, talking about the Panama Canal, talking about annexing Canada. These are not the things Americans signed up for. No way. If there's one mandate Donald Trump had,
is it just me, or does everything Chuck Schumer say fall on deaf ears now? I really couldn't care less what this guy has to say anymore. Rebecca, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I got to catch up on these. Rebecca, thank you so much, Rebecca. Appreciate you, Rebecca. Seriously, thank you for the 5 gifted, Rebecca. That means a lot. T-Full Hund upgraded to Mastermind of Muppetry. T-Full Hund, thank you so much. I appreciate you. T-Full Hund 1969, thank you for upgrading to a Mastermind of Muppetry. Appreciate you, T-Full Hund. Appreciate you. Nate Seals, thank you for becoming a tadpole. Nate, appreciate you. 210 Rain, thank you for the gifted 5 memberships. Appreciate you. Ryan, thank you. I read that one, I think, already. Chrissy, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Amanda, thank you for the $5 super chat. Rebecca, thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you.
was to fight inflation on day one, like he promised to do. But he's not doing that.
Yeah, it's not about him being performative for me. I just don't give a fuck what these politicians that have been in government forever have to say anymore. I just don't care. You know what I mean? It just you know what I mean? It's like, who gives a shit? You know, what is this guy? I mean, seriously, you know, like, I used to have respect for Chuck Schumer. I just don't give a shit what he has to say anymore. And that goes along with all these other politicians that have literally been in government forever. Tired of it. I'm tired of it.
He's focused on...
How do we get a Muppetry membership? Marianne, you have to... I think you have to do it through your browser, Marianne, but someone in the chat, can you tell Marianne how to do that, please? I'd appreciate it.
Everything else...
Because I don't even know myself, Marianne.
What Americans want most. Meanwhile, Americans woke up this morning to bad news for their bank accounts. They woke up to a grim reality that Donald Trump is not going to keep his promise to lower costs. They woke up. Americans woke up to an era of Trumpflation, and unfortunately, this is only the beginning. On Doge. We all agree, I've said it many times, that cutting waste in government and increasing efficiency is a good thing. But what Doge is doing is something else entirely. Doge is taking a meat axe and attacking...
Rebecca, thank you for the 1 gifted membership. Appreciate you. Guys, I think you have to do it through your browser. You go to youtube.com and then click on my channel and my live, and you have to do it through your browser, and you can become a member. But am I right, Chad, or no? You have to, like, do it through your browser? Is that what you have to do?
Vital programs indiscriminately. Of the programs that he cuts, some may be wasteful. Many clearly are not. Cut now, says Doge, ask questions later.
This is so profound. I'm going to move on in a minute if he doesn't start saying something.
Meanwhile, of course, Trumpflation continues to get worse. If Donald Trump and Doge want to focus on efficiency, they should do it as the Constitution maintains and the founders wisely prescribed, through Congress. The founders knew we needed debate, we needed sunlight, we needed transparency, so we can see what programs can be improved or changed and what should be maintained. Instead, Doge is taking a meat axe and cutting vital programs that virtually no one outside of Doge would call wasteful. Cut now, ask questions later.
Tracy says you can do it from the app. From your page, there's a join button. Listen to what Tracy says, I guess. I don't know. I wish I knew more, everybody. I'm not that good at this either. I'm just learning the app myself.
I was in Albany and Syracuse on Monday visiting community health centers. These centers throughout the country, CHCs as they are known, community health centers, are among the most effective and efficient users of government.
Simon, I like this comment. Normally I read super chats, but I'm going to read Simon's comment. Getting tired of Democrats that are basically just narrating what's happening. It's fucking annoying, dude. Like, all right, what are we going to do about it?
Funding. And they rely on federal dollars to provide high-quality, affordable health care for working people, far cheaper than would be a policy ground. Republican scheme to pass tax cuts for the ultra-rich takes the next important step.
All right, let's
Later
see.
today, Chairman Graham of the Budget Committee
Let's
will...
check in really quick because this is happening
Technology systems.
simultaneously.
Sometimes they come about through human error, and sometimes they come about through negligence. There are a
And this is being hosted by Marjorie Taylor Greene, dude.
variety of reasons why improper payments happen.
This is that Doge
It
hearing.
just simply is not the case that improper payments are only a function of bad people doing bad things with bad intent. That doesn't mean we shouldn't focus on trying to mitigate improper payments, and that certainly doesn't mean that the American people should not be concerned with how their tax dollars are used. The good news is that there are some time-tested solutions and tools to help mitigate these problems.
Play his cringy chant? I have already. I did before once. It was awful.
I'm going to stand with you in this fight, and we will win. 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 We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest.
We are fucking cooked. We are literally cooked.
We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest. Thank you, everybody. We will win. We will win. We will win. We will win.
We're cooked. We're so cooked. Every time I watch that, I'm just like, we are absolutely cooked. And we are.
Transparency Act, the Data Act.
This is interesting, though. This is the first Doge committee hearing. So we're getting some insight here. The funny thing is, he first came out and said everybody who does something or makes a mistake doesn't have negative intentions. No, really? No shit.
SaySpending.gov.
You guys are, Elon's the one saying that. Making it seem like it's some kind of like devious conspiracy.
Were really important improvements and innovations when they came about, but they are in need of overhaul and reform. Currently, the status quo is that we have an extraordinarily hard time tracking federal dollars from end to end. This is due in large part to a broken chain of data collection, of reporting information, and the ability to monitor and track in real time what is happening.
Does this individual have sensitivity to light or something, or are those glasses that are camera glasses?
With federal dollars. This informational black hole is where a lot of impropriety happens. It's where waste, fraud, and abuse live. And yes,
I don't know if
payments often happen.
He may be blind or something.
But more importantly,
so I want to be.
We also don't have a good,
we don't want
clear, and
we don't want to jump to conclusions here, but I'm sure it'll be something I can look up here. Hold on.
Consistent way of understanding what is happening with tax dollars at the end point. What is the impact that we're having? What is the return on investment that we're having? We now have an annual budget of close to $7 trillion a year. We can't say with any degree of clarity and consistency what we're getting for all of that money. We have some more good news, though. There are bipartisan efforts, and there have been for years, to try and clean up this situation. We at POGO have had the privilege and pleasure of working on some of those initiatives. We were a part of the Federal Taxpayers' Right to Know Act being passed into law just a couple of years ago, which created for the very first time a program inventory of all the programs in the federal government, and that would be available to the public. We have worked with a member of this very committee, the House Oversight and Accountability Committee, to introduce a piece of legislation that would bring more transparency to federal subaward.
Let me start with the introduction.
This committee will be laser focused on bringing full transparency.
This is going to make you
frickin'
cringe, dude. This was so bad. All right, let's start with the introduction. Marjorie Taylor Greene introducing Doge.
Will come to order. Welcome, everyone. Without objection, the chair may declare a recess at any time. Also, for today's hearing, Chairman Comer and Ranking Member Connolly will each be recognized for 1 minute after me and the Ranking Member provide our opening statements. I recognize myself for the purpose of making an opening statement. Good morning. Today, we begin the first hearing on the Oversight Subcommittee on Doge. This committee will be laser focused on bringing full transparency to waste, fraud, and abuse within the federal government and presenting the plans to fix the tremendous problems we expose. We as a country are $36 trillion in debt. That is such a stunning amount of money. It's absolutely staggering to even comprehend how we as a people, we as a country, found ourselves here. This is not a Democrat problem. This is not a Republican problem. This is an American problem. To make it clear for everyone, not only are we $36 trillion in debt, but the compounding interest on our debt is also growing out of control. Even if we decided to defund the entire federal government, we cannot escape our debt and the compounding interest owed on our debt, which grows bigger and bigger every year. In 2025, interest payments are projected to be $952 billion, which is more than our entire military budget. In 2026, it will be $1 trillion. And by 2035, $1.8 trillion. Over the next decade, total interest payments are projected to be $13.8 trillion. These interest payments don't serve a single American. They don't build a bridge, a road, provide disaster relief, or fund a single part of the behemoth that is the federal government. These interest payments pay our masters who own our debt, and the American people are in debt slavery to everyone who owns our debt. Our crippling national debt and massively growing interest on our debt will destroy us. Not destroy one political party or the other, it will destroy all of us together. It drives inflation, making life unaffordable for Americans struggling to financially survive.
It costs the American taxpayer $15 million for Donald Trump to attend the Super Bowl on Sunday, just so everybody knows.
It is crippling.
Mel, thank you for the $1.99 super chat, Mel. Appreciate you, Mel. Appreciate you, Mel.
Small businesses struggling to be successful.
I do have a super chat goal up there. If you guys would like to participate, I'd appreciate it.
Our massively growing debt and interest are the chains and shackles harnessed to every American and their children and every generation to come. But first, let us be brutally honest about how this massive debt came to be in the first place. It came from Congress and from elected presidential administrations. And I believe enslaving our nation in debt is one of the biggest betrayals against the American people by its own elected government. The American people's anger over this betrayal is what gave birth to the concept of Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency. In fact, Doge became a major part of President Trump's campaign and led to his overwhelming victory in November.
Alicia, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Overwhelming victory. Why do they keep saying that? It wasn't an overwhelming victory. Stop saying that.
Every day, Americans go to work. They run businesses. They have to earn their paycheck.
Oh, God, I can't stand this pterodactyl.
No one guarantees it. And if they don't do a good job, they get fired. They also have to pay their bills, credit card debts, balance their checkbooks, and scrap and save every penny they can in order to plan for that rainy day and hopefully retirement one day. Private businesses only survive on hard-earned income by serving their customers so well that their customers pay them for the services and products they consume. If that business fails, its employees lose their jobs and paychecks, and the owners lose their business and everything they risked along with it. Many go bankrupt in this process and lose everything. No one bails them out. They only survive by excellent customer service and smart financial management. This is the real world that most Americans live, work, and survive in every day. This is the pursuit of happiness, and this is how you pursue the American dream. However, the federal government, government employees, and unelected bureaucrats do not live by the same rules as the great American people and private businesses. The federal government's income is the American people's hard-earned tax dollars, their literal blood, sweat, and tears. And taxes are collected by law at gunpoint. Don't pay your taxes and you go to jail. The federal government does not have to provide excellent customer service to earn its income. It takes your money whether you like it or not. And federal employees receive...
Here's the thing. I am okay with cutting spending. Like, I am okay with... I've long called for, like, legitimate audits, right? This is not... They're not auditing, though.
Their paycheck, no matter what. Whether veterans receive their benefits or not, whether your mail shows up or not, and whether your tax dollars are used to help Americans in need or are sent to foreign...
Your paycheck. Who the hell uses who the hell still uses a checkbook? What? A checkbook? Oh, hell no. Kim, thank you so much, Kim. Appreciate you, Kim. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Kim. Appreciate you. Why don't I have a join button? I think you should be able to do it through your browser, Mel's. I really do. I think you should. Daniel, thank you for the $3 super chat, Daniel. Appreciate you, buddy. And Alicia, thank you for the $5 super chat, Alicia.
Foreign countries, for foreign people, for foreign causes. No matter how bad the federal government fails the American people, it still takes your money. It still pays its own federal employees, and it never, ever goes out of business. There are no consequences for bad customer service, total failure, and for enslaving the American people against their will and the...
What? You're getting a little out of control here, you pterodactyl.
Ever-growing and future all-consuming national debt. Congress has a dismal approval rating that ranges between 12 and 20%. I don't blame the American people one bit for their sentiment and disgust. The American people will be watching this committee and how we tackle one of the biggest problems of our time. While we are a committee made up of the opposite far-reaching corners of Congress, we were each elected to serve and represent the American people and how their hard-earned tax dollars...
Guys, make sure you subscribe, too. I am so close to... I should even be there. I'm like right there to 8,000 subscribers, which is pretty good to start. Jay Garzilla, thank you for the $4.99 super chat, Jay Garzilla. Appreciate you, Jay.
...are spent.
1 second, everybody. I'm just going to move this up. I just have to use the bathroom really quick.
We as Republicans and Democrats can still hold tightly to our beliefs, but we are going to have to let go of funding them in order to save our sinking ship. This is not a time for political theater and partisan attacks. The American people are watching. The legislative branch can't sit on the sidelines. In this subcommittee, we will fight the war on waste, shoulder to shoulder with President Trump, Elon Musk, and the Doge team. This week, we turn our attention to improper payments by the federal government, including in Medicaid and Medicare. I'm looking forward to what we find out and how to solve this crisis. I now yield to the ranking member, Ms. Stansbury, for her opening statement.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Madam Chair, and welcome to the very first subcommittee on government efficiency. As was said, this committee is tasked under the Oversight Committee with ensuring that the government and the vital services that it provides, from healthcare to national security, actually work for the American people. And this is certainly a topic that we have worked on for many, many years here in the Oversight Committee, in which I personally have worked on as a former civil servant who worked at the Office of Management and Budget. And in fact, for anyone who has ever worked on these issues, you know that
I love fucking speaking and forgetting to tap my microphone on. God damn. Jesus, I gotta I gotta get out of that habit. I keep doing that, dude. I keep literally turning, like, speaking into a muted microphone. Like, you have to tap the top. You know? So anyway, I wanted to say, so yesterday I tested out Omi TV. Right? So we're going to basically be I'm going to go and just talk to random people and be like, what's up? Did you vote for Trump? What's up? Did you And I have potentially a scheduled actual debate coming up within the next week and a half with someone. We're gonna have a legitimate debate. It's gonna be about an hour long. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be about an hour. Should be about an hour. It might go over an hour, but yeah, I'm gonna do it's a serious debate. It's not fucking screaming it could get heated, of course, but just a regular debate.
there is ample ground for bipartisan work to make the government work better for the American people and to ensure that it operates in a more efficient manner. And in fact, all of us here on the Democratic side are ready to roll up our sleeves and to get to work. And just last week, I had the opportunity to sit down with the chairwoman and to discuss these very issues and opportunities to work across the aisle. And like the chairwoman who shared some of her background with me, I grew up in a working family. I grew up working for small mom and pop family businesses and understand the necessity of balancing the books, making sure we can deliver, and fiscal responsibility. And that's why today's hearing is focused on making sure that the federal government is doing what it's supposed to and digging into the more than $236 billion in improper payments that we see going out the door every single year. And we need to get to the bottom of that. And we need to make sure that we're putting into place rigorous oversight and controls to prevent fraud and abuse.
Guys, yesterday Elon Musk said that there are people who are 150 years old collecting Social Security. Do you notice that yesterday by the way, if you guys missed yesterday, we went over it. It was fucking weird. Elon Musk and Donald Trump in the Oval Office together, fucking really weird.
And of course, to go after bad actors. And that is why myself and the Oversight Ranking Member Connolly and other Democratic members of the committee sent a set of bipartisan ideas that we'd like to work on together that would root out waste, fraud, and abuse and modernize and streamline how our agencies deliver vital programs for the American people. These are programs that are important for our seniors and our families and healthcare and the education system, and we need bipartisan solutions to get across the finish line. And we've been trying over the last several years to get these ideas out of this committee, but unfortunately, the committee's priorities have been elsewhere under the current majority.
Can we all be honest for a second and forget Democrat and Republican just for a second? Everyone in here is down for stopping waste, right? We're all, right, on board with cutting wasteful spending, money that is coming out of the taxpayer's pocket, right? We're all on board with that. Let's all be genuine here and give our take. I'm on board with cutting waste. The issue I have is with, number one, how they're doing it and who's doing it. Are we all in agreement there? We're all in agreement that we're okay with cutting waste. It costs us money, increases our... right? Because I think that Republicans are trying to frame this as we just don't want to cut waste or something. Muppets. Why the fuck would we not want to cut waste? I mean, there's one thing I don't want you digging around in, and that's Social Security. To be completely honest, I'd rather they just keep their paws off that completely. But this idea that we don't want to cut wasteful spending is just stupid. We just have a problem with who's doing it. And these people don't actually care about cutting wasteful spending either. Like I said earlier, it cost the American taxpayer $15 million for Donald Trump's ass to go to the Super Bowl so he could get attention. $15 million. And then he left the Super Bowl and said, I'm getting rid of the 1 cent. I'm getting rid of the penny, which will save roughly $10 million a year. Spent more, cost the American taxpayer more in that night than cutting pennies will annually.
So I hope we can fix that this Congress. But
He's full of shit.
we can't just sit here today and pretend like everything is normal and that this is just another hearing on government efficiency.
This is what I mean.
I mean, all you have to do is look across this room and see that it is not a normal hearing. Because while we're sitting here, Donald Trump and Elon Musk are recklessly and illegally dismantling the federal government, shuttering federal agencies, firing federal workers, withholding funds vital to the safety and well-being of our
Boom. And by the way, guys, who do you think they're going to blame when there's a resurgence of HIV/AIDS? When HIV/AIDS comes back, right? It's here still, but I mean there's a resurgence, right? A global resurgence, because many of these other countries rely on this funding. When there's a global resurgence, who are they going to blame for that? You going to blame Biden? You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about serious consequences. And this is just one of the consequences with USAID. Is, a resurgence in some of these diseases. Emily, thank you for becoming a Muppet Masher, Emily. I appreciate that so much, Emily. Thank you, Emily. Micro Kimmy, thank you for the $10. Says Elon Musk had to have written Marjorie Taylor Greene's opening. She herself would never say those things. The goal is to sway low-info Americans in their direction, but pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Facts, Kimmy. 100% facts.
communities and hacking our sensitive data systems. In fact, while we were here discussing government waste on the House floor yesterday, Elon Musk was standing behind the Resolute desk in the Oval Office with the president, and the administration was making emergency court appeals to try to unlock his team's access to the Treasury payment system, which they claim they are using to study improper payments, which is the topic of this hearing. But here's the thing.
Yeah, it's Stansberry, but yeah.
The Treasury payment system, which includes Social Security information and bank accounts.
Zuck does suck. Thanks for becoming a tadpole. Zuck does suck.
For millions of Americans and data that's critical to national security and the operation of the U.S. government, and payments that go out the door annually equal to almost a fifth of the U.S. economy, is not where the payment decisions are made, because that happens inside the agencies that are currently being dismantled. And the people who actually investigate waste, fraud, and abuse at these agencies are the inspector generals, who Donald Trump fired his first week in office in a midnight massacre. So we have to ask ourselves, what is really going on here?
By the way, not an ounce of proof, not a cent of proof has been presented. Not an inkling, not a speck of proof of any of the claims they made. Let me be super clear about why or prove they're full of shit, right? Let's talk about one of the lies they told, okay? One of the lies Elon Musk told, right, was that there was $50 million worth of condoms sent to Gaza, okay? Then they debunked this claim because it was revealed that the condoms weren't sent to Gaza, Palestine. They were sent to Gaza province in Mozambique, not Palestine. Then Musk said, well, you know, everyone's going to make mistakes. No one bats 1,000. This is this guy trying to normalize disinformation, right? This is dangerous. You don't just get to say, no, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Like, dude, like, he didn't even come out and say he made a mistake. A reporter called him out. You don't get to say everyone makes mistakes. That's seriously damaging information to put out into the American public. You know? Then you're convincing the American people to get on board with your stupid plan. Yeah, he's stupid, but he doesn't admit when he lies. Remember when Paul Pelosi was attacked with a hammer and Elon Musk sent out an anti-LGBTQ conspiracy to his Twitter, and a bunch of people were saying that Paul Pelosi was homosexual and that was his boyfriend and that's why he was attacked? Lied about it. Elon is full of lies. So I need to see proof of what you're saying. Otherwise, I don't believe you. You don't get the benefit of the doubt. Kathleen, thank you for becoming a tadpole, Kathleen. Appreciate you, Kathleen.
Why did Republicans block Elon Musk from appearing before this very committee last week? Why is the administration so eager to allow Elon Musk and his hackers to have access to proprietary and private information in the Treasury payment systems? Why are our colleagues across the aisle shielding them as they are clearly breaking the law? And why is the vice president trying to rewrite the U.S. Constitution by tweet and undermine the judiciary?
Why do you think?
So obviously, we're in the Oversight Committee and we have a lot of questions, and so do the American people. Especially while our colleagues across the aisle are trying to scoop up the savings from the dismantling of these agencies to pay for the largest permanent tax break in American history for billionaires and the folks that they're helping on their side of the aisle. So let me close by saying this directly to Mr. Elon Musk. We are well aware that you are eager to engage with members.
Right, it says all January 6 footage removed from the White House site. That doesn't shock me.
Congress on social media. But we're not here to play. If you have serious desire to engage in democracy and transparency, we welcome you to the Oversight Committee. Come and testify in front of the American people under oath, because we want to know what you're up to. So if you're interested in talking to us, then please join us here in the People's House, in the House of Representatives. And with that, I yield back.
The gentlelady yields. President Trump signed an executive order on his first day in office called Establishing and Implementing the President's Department of Government Efficiency. The EO simply renamed an office in the White House that was actually established by President Obama in 2014 called the U.S. Digital Service.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm sorry, this woman has no idea what she's talking about.
President Trump can have Elon Musk into his Oval Office anytime he likes. I now recognize the chairman of the Oversight Committee, Chairman James Comer.
Well, thank you, Chairwoman Green.
Did Elon say everything was posted on the Doge website, yet there's nothing posted there? There's been no proof fucking presented.
For holding today's hearing to launch a war on waste. President Trump won an electoral landslide with a clear mandate from the American people to eliminate Washington waste and stop the theft of American tax dollars. And he is delivering on his promise. President Trump has empowered Elon Musk and Doge to conduct a government-wide audit to identify solutions to curb waste and protect tax dollars. That's exactly what the mission of this committee is supposed to be, and I'm glad that my colleagues on the other side of the aisle have found a newfound interest in waste, fraud, and abuse. With a staggering $37 trillion in national debt, we have no time to lose. A key place to start is improper payments. Since 2003, the government has lost $2.7 trillion because of improper payments. Fraudsters, organized criminals, hostile foreign actors, and even government employees have siphoned money away from those who truly qualify for assistance. For years, Republicans and Democrats in the
Yeah, I just don't believe that. I'm sorry.
Oversight Committee have condemned this waste. But now that Doge is taking real action, Democrats are choosing to defend the bureaucracy and status quo instead of standing
This
up.
is the thing that irritates me more than anything. They keep using the word bureaucracy. Bureaucracy. Isn't Elon Musk an unelected bureaucrat? He wasn't elected. No one voted for him. Isn't he the unelected bureaucracy? He was talking about this in the Oval Office yesterday. Like, what the fuck, man? You are the unelected bureaucracy. What do you mean?
Up for the American people. I want to thank Chairwoman Green for holding this very important hearing, not only to expose the problems, but to find solutions. We stand with President Trump and Doge in the fight to end waste, fraud, and abuse in Washington. With that, I yield back to Subcommittee Chairwoman Green, and congratulations again, Chairwoman, on holding this first hearing of the Doge Subcommittee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The gentleman yields back. I now recognize the ranking member on oversight, Mr. Connolly.
Excuse me, thank you. You know, improper payments is not a new subject. I remember joining Steve Lynch and then Todd Platts, Republican member from Pennsylvania, in my freshman year, talking about improper payments. At that time, improper payments were in the range of 35.
So over the past 16 years.
Will continue to lead the world in funding cybercrime.
All right, guys, I'm going to check in on the Tulsi thing real quick. I need to check the Tulsi Gabbard thing.
With weight loss by Hims, customers report losing over 11 pounds in just their first month.
Care agenda. That agenda
Leave me alone.
boils down to putting big pharma and insurance companies back in charge while leaving millions of American families to fend for themselves without affordable care. And I want to be clear about this. Going back to my days as director of the Gray Panthers, which is what I did before I went into public service, I can just tell you.
Older millennial is a low IQ. I don't pay attention to that kind of shit. That's just somebody who's looking for attention. He doesn't actually know what he's talking about.
Mr. President, this is the least qualified nominee to ever be nominated for a position of this importance. So for the next day and night, Senate Democrats are going to be out on this floor telling the American people why. Our colleagues on the other side of the aisle still have an opportunity to turn away from a dangerous path. If they do not, my view is their legacy will be tarnished by setbacks in science that will echo in America for decades. As I mentioned, I spent countless hours as a young man working with seniors to navigate the newly created Medicare program and help them avoid predatory insurance company tactics that remain all too common today. To me and many other Americans, healthcare colleagues is the most important issue, because if you and your loved ones don't have their health, everything else goes by the board. And the reality is, we need to make sure that Americans have the best and most affordable health care possible, rather than having a handful of health care companies being gobbled up in the entire market for health insurance, pharmaceuticals, hospitals, and even doctors. The results have been great for shareholder profits and disastrous for American families. Costs keep climbing. The act of getting a doctor's appointment or filing an insurance claim seems to have become an Olympic sport in much of America. The system delays and denies care and rakes in profits while patients are left wondering how they're going to get the care they need. So the question before the Senate now is whether...
Somebody asked, why is MTG hosting this? Because she's the chair of the subcommittee, the oversight committee.
We want America's chief health officer to be somebody who's going to take on those corporate interests, somebody who's going to fight tooth and nail to lower costs and improve care, somebody who's going to work to protect and improve the federal health care programs that tens of millions of Americans rely on them, and not gut. Everything I've seen and heard from Mr. Kennedy over these last few weeks has led me, colleagues, to conclude he is not the person that America needs. Americans have little reason to take Mr. Kennedy at his word. They do, however, have every reason to believe Mr. Kennedy will continue to embrace and amplify anti-vaccine programs. Every reason to believe is he will back up Donald Trump's abortion.
They're essentially destroying our government.
Abortion bans.
Just say it. You can simplify it by saying they're destroying our government.
And every reason exists to examine the prospect that he'll be a rubber stamp for the Republican health agenda that would rip away the health care of so many.
By the way, I want everyone in here, tell me where you're coming in from. Are you a blue dot? Give me some, let's see some where people are coming in from in the chat. Are you a blue dot? What's up?
Many Americans. Over the next 24 hours, Democrats are going to show the American people why these concerns are so serious. I yield the floor, and I urge my colleagues to oppose this nomination.
Sadly, this is what the American people fucking voted for.
Right now. All time has expired. The question occurs on the Gabbard nomination. Is there a sufficient second? There appears to be. Clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Alsobrooks, Ms. Baldwin, Mr. Banks, Mr. Barrasso.
Got some blue dots. We got some blue dots. What's going on here? What are they doing? What are they doing, chat? I didn't hear them.
Bennett. Mrs. Blackburn.
She's gonna get confirmed. She's gonna get confirmed. Oh man, she's super fucking dangerous, dude. She is super dangerous. I wish I could even express to you in words how dangerous she is, dude. We are in trouble.
Ms. Blunt Rochester.
Oh my
Mr.
God.
Booker.
No, I've seen people not get confirmed. I saw someone didn't get confirmed under the Biden administration. Someone didn't get confirmed under Obama's administration. There was a couple under Obama's administration, I believe. I've seen it, but it's rare. It's on the rare side.
Bozeman. Mrs. Brett. Mr. Budd. Ms. Cantwell. Mrs. Capito.
This is gonna be a bad one, though. This is a bad one. This is
Mr. Cassidy.
This is a bad day for the United States here. Sad day.
Mr. Coons. Mr. Cornyn. Ms. Cortez Masto. Mr. Cotton. Mr. Kramer. Mr. Crapo. Mr. Cruz. Mr. Curtis. Mr. Daines. Ms. Duckworth. Mr. Durbin. Ms. Ernst. Mr. Fetterman. Mrs. Fisher. Mr. Gallego. Mrs. Gillibrand. Mr. Graham. Mr. Grassley. Mr. Haggerty. Ms. Hassan. Mr. Hawley. Mr. Heinrich. Mr. Hickenlooper. Ms. Hirono. Mr. Hoven. Mr. Husted. Mrs. Hyde-Smith. Mr. Johnson. Mr. Justice. Mr. Kane. Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kennedy.
Mr. Cuckold. Oh, wait, never mind. Lindsey Graham's not there.
Mr. Kim.
Haptivity, thank you for becoming a tadpole, Haptivity. Haptivity, thank you for becoming a tadpole, Haptivity. Appreciate you.
Mr. King, Ms. Klobuchar, Mr. Langford, Mr. Lee, Mr. Lujan.
Hold on, I'm going to bring something up while we're waiting for this, too. I want to show you guys. Hold on.
Ms. Lamas. Mr. Markey. Mr. Marshall. Mr. McConnell. Mr. McCormick. Mr. Merkley. Mrs. Moody. Mr. Moran.
Escape freezing.
Mr. Moreno. Mr. Mullen. Ms. Markowski. Mr. Murphy. Mrs. Murray. Mr. Ossoff.
Check it.
Mr. Padilla.
Check it, everybody.
Mr. Paul. Mr. Peters. Mr. Reed. Mr. Ricketts.
Thank you, Claire Bear. Thank you for the $4.99.
Ms. Rose.
Thank you for the $4.99 super chat, Claire Bear.
Mr. Rounds.
There is no ad block on OBS that I know of. I'm doing this through streaming through OBS. Radical, thank you for the $2 super chat. Guys, we only have 2 minutes left to complete the super chat goal. Dawn, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Clara, thank you for the $6.99 super chat. We achieved the goal. We achieved it.
Mr. Sanders.
Right.
Mr. Welch. Mr. Whitehouse. Mr. Wicker.
Seriously, look.
Mr. Wyden.
Do you see it?
Mr. Young. Senators voting in the affirmative. Banks, Barrasso, Blackburn, Britt, Budd, Cassidy, Cotton, Crapo, Curtis, Daines, Grassley, Johnson, Justice, Langford, Moran, Mullen, Risch, Rounds, Schmidt, Scott of South Carolina, Sheehy, Tillis, Tuberville. Mr.
I don't know how we're supposed to survive this. I'm terrified. Sunflower, thank you for the $4.99, and you survive this by, embed yourself in my live streams and stuff. I'll try and guide you through it in the calmest way possible, so you don't panic. And you find a hobby to kind of distract yourself, and you push through. We'll get through it together. That's how we get through it together.
Mr. Hoven, aye. Senators voting in the negative: Also Brooks, Coons, Hassan, Heinrich, Kim, Klobuchar, Lujan, Murray, Peters, Schumer, Shaheen, Van Hollen, Wyden. Mr. McCormick, aye. Mr. Ricketts, aye. Mrs. Hyde-Smith, aye. Mrs.
Here,
Fisher,
ladies and gentlemen,
aye.
Gulf of America. Gulf of America, ladies and gentlemen. Look at what we are just weeks into this presidency. Look, Gulf of America.
Mr. Schiff, no.
Oh my frickin' God.
Mr. Bozeman, aye.
Schiff voted
Mr.
no.
Schatz, no. Mr.
No.
Marshall,
Schiff voted no.
aye. Mr. Gallego, no.
I don't think it's going to be taken from you, Amanda, but we'll see. Marianne, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Just so you guys know, if you really want to, my Cash App and Venmo are still operational. And so you can always donate through Venmo and Cash App, and I will read it just like I would a super chat. So just so you know that, it is available to you, then I will read it just like I do a super chat. He voted no, yeah. This is kind of disturbing, though. Did you ever think you'd look at this map and see Gulf of America? Is that not fucking crazy? What's up, Renee? Is that not wild, though? Maybe it's just me, just to see it, like, to see it in the flesh like that. It's just crazy, dude.
Mr. Thune, Mr. Thune, aye.
What's up, PFC?
Ms. Duckworth, no. Ms. Ernst, Ms. Ernst.
Crazy, dude.
Aye.
Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane,
Collins,
people.
Ms. Collins, aye.
All right, let's go back to the MTG Doge. Darcy says, thank you for all you do. Thank you for the $5 on Venmo, Darcy. I appreciate you, Darcy. I really do. I appreciate all the support, guys. Obviously, leaving TikTok, you know, is rough. I still have to make money if I'm going to be on here as much as I am. So if I do rely on the support of you. So I do appreciate all your support, everybody. It really means a lot.
Congress can make...
How can we just rename a body of water? I'm laughing so hard, what an accomplishment. Because he believes he's just the king. He can just do whatever the fuck he wants. He's out of his fucking mind. Jessica, thank you for becoming a Muppet Masher, Jessica. Jessica, thank you for becoming a Muppet Masher, Jessica. Appreciate you, Jessica.
President Trump's Doge cost-cutting and deregulatory reforms permanent by passing the REINS Act. And so there's only one big problem with the Doge effort. Most of its work...
If you zoom out on Google, it says Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America. No, I did, Haptivity. It didn't say it for me.
...can be undone by a future president with the stroke of a pen.
Let me do it again.
To make President Trump's Doge reforms permanent, Congress must act. And the best way to do this is to pass the REINS Act. This would return Article 1 budgetary power of the purse to Congress while promoting deregulation. It would also help lock in the Doge reforms and cement President Trump's legacy as the most consequential deregulatory and cost-cutting president in U.S. history. The American people are watching. It's time for Congress to act. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Whitson. I now recognize Mr. Hetler Goddett for his opening statement.
Right there.
Thank you, Chairwoman Green,
I'm
Ranking
backing
Member
all the way
Stansberry,
out.
and
Look.
members of the subcommittee. My name is Dylan Hetler Goddett, and I am the Director of Government Affairs at the Project on Government Oversight.
Right here, look, I'm backed all the way out. It says Gulf of America right there. And when you zoom in, it still says Gulf of America. Apple Maps still says Gulf of Mexico. This is Google Maps, yeah. Look, I'm doing it right now. Gulf of America, I don't know. I do not know. Jessica, thank you for the $5 super chat, Jessica. Appreciate you, Jessica. Thank you so much for the people supporting. I appreciate you.
Oversight only a function of bad people doing bad things with bad intent. That doesn't mean we shouldn't focus.
You guys can test for yourself, too, and see if it shows for you. Does it have to do with updating? I mean, I think I just went through the browser version I think I just did the browser version. And it says Gulf of America.
On trying to mitigate improper payments, and that certainly doesn't mean that the American people should not be concerned with how their tax dollars are used. The good news is that there are some time-tested solutions and tools to help mitigate these problems. For example, when we think about the independence of inspectors general, we're talking about a resource that is extraordinarily valuable to the American people. In fiscal year 2023 alone, inspectors general identified over $93 billion worth of potential savings to taxpayers. Whistleblowers are also an incredible resource to the American taxpayer. Through the IRS's whistleblower program alone, billions of dollars have been recouped from tax cheats since the inception of that program in 2007. Whistleblowers have also played an instrumental role in helping the Department of Justice pursue False Claims Act cases that have resulted in billions of dollars in reclaims settlement costs. It seems to me that if an administration were serious about wanting to root out waste, fraud, and abuse, they would support and resource whistleblowers and inspectors general. They would not demonize them, and they would certainly not fire them en masse in an unlawful midnight purge. There are other reforms we can think about too, reforms that are more technical, but just as important. Key statutes such as the Federal Funding Accountability and Transparency Act, the Data Act, and critical platforms like usaspending.gov were really important improvements and innovations when they came about, but they are in need of overhaul and reform. Currently, the status quo is that we have an extraordinarily hard time tracking federal dollars from end to end. This is due in large part to a broken chain of data collection, of reporting information, and the ability to monitor and track in real time what is happening with federal dollars. This informational black hole is where a lot of impropriety happens. It's where waste, fraud, and abuse live. And yet,
I swear to God, I'm so annoyed at the fact that I just pulled my camera up and it gets lost up at the top here. Like, why does the OBS do this? Like, why would it make it so I can throw my camera off the fucking screen? You know what I mean? Like, what ridiculous fucking shit is this? Thank you to Brittany for the $5 on Venmo. Thank you, Brittany. Appreciate you, Brittany. Melissa says for being here. Thank you always, Brittany. Melissa says, thank you for the $10. Melissa says your voice is so important and appreciated. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate you, Melissa. Dude, why does OBS let me throw my fucking camera off the goddamn screen? Like, is this, I mean, that's got to be the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. I threw my camera off the screen? You got to be kidding me, dude. Like, so now I got to try and bring it back.
yes, we have another proposal to harmonize the amount of data and information we collect between contract spending and non-contract spending. We stand ready, willing, and able to work with anybody who wants to work with us on these common sense solutions. Lastly, I want to put in a quick word for Congress.
Yeah.
And specifically, I want to
The gentleman's time has expired.
Apologies.
Yes.
I can't see the flashing light.
That's okay. Thank you, Mr. Hetler. Got it. We appreciate your testimony. I now recognize myself for 5 minutes of questions. I'd like to thank our witnesses today for your testimonies and the suggestions that you have brought before this committee.
Guys, I'm going to restart because it's literally the dumbest fucking thing on planet Earth that so I put my capture device back, right? And now it's not showing up. Like, come on, dude. Why does this do this? Like, there should be a recenter button. All right, I'm restarting. I am restarting. I will be right back. I have different scenes, but I drag things out of the way and stuff. It's absolutely absurd. I'll be right back. What a pain in the ass, dude.